Mastering the fourth thought. I've written many, many times about what are called the four thoughts that turn the mind toward the Dharma. And they were, in fact, my introduction to Buddhism many years ago. And these are the four thoughts that, when kept in mind, can turn our mind away from our everyday mad rush to exist and out into some little eddy or cove of a more peaceful existence. Here I just want to talk a bit about that gnarly fourth thought. And for reference sake, just so you know, the four thoughts are, number one, human life is precious. Make good use of it. Number two, impermanence. Our life is very fragile and time is short. And three, karma. Every tiny action is a seed that has an exact effect and a corresponding reaction and growth. And fourth, and this is the one I'm getting at here, this world that we live in is inherently undependable. We will never get our ducks all in a row. Now, it was this fourth thought that I had trouble with, the idea that no matter how hard I try, I will never game the system. I'll never manage to get all of my ducks in a row. Somewhere in the back of my mind, there's a part of me that thinks I'm smart enough to somehow game the system, and at given time I will manage to get my ducks in a row. Well, if you've ever tried to herd ducks, you'll know in an instant that it can't be done. I tell you folks, when it comes to this stuff, I am the slow learner. Like building a house of cards or setting up rows of cascading dominoes, sooner or later something or someone will slip up, and it all comes tumbling down. And there's no use crying over spilt milk, as they say. I know that, and I try to make a point of not adding insult to injury. It's one thing if something unwanted or unexpected happens to me in life, but quite another if I follow that by feeling sorry for myself, by getting angry or railing at life for subjecting me to the ignominy of whatever it is. And so I think that's what's called, quote, pissing into the wind. All of my mind training practice has taught me to just drop the hurt feelings, any sense of injury, and any response to whatever it is that's happened to me that I did not invite, and just start over again. I first learned this as a programmer many years ago. I would lose a day's or a week's work by pressing the wrong button on the keyboard. I used to go through all kinds of antics over my loss, but in time I realized that nobody was watching or cared but me, and to just leave off with the theatrics and just get busy and start over. Just bring the mind back to the beginning and start coding again, as opposed to staining my mind further with all kinds of anger and whatnot. Anyway, you got the idea. Of course, it's easier to talk to you about this than to actually do it. I'm doing pretty well about not throwing good money after bad, not following insult by injuring myself with anger and regret. This is not to say that there's not a sigh every now and again, something that escapes me despite my mental firewall. Just a little sigh that tells me I still have not learned all that I need to know about that fourth thought. Ring any bells?